So Escape Your Limits and the philosophy of the podcast is about people who overcome what they've been told to believe is impossible and making it possible. What would be your most memorable example of escaping your own personal limits?
You talked about it earlier, but I'd say escaping your own limits was on the show NBC Strong.
Right.
Because the reason why I say that is because I went in as the oldest trainer, and the role I thought I was going to have wasn't the role I had. I didn't know I was competing on the show. I thought I was a trainer to one of the trainees, and when they had this massive twist that the trainer was going to compete with the trainee, I was like, oh shoot, I can't train like that anymore. I got a bad knee, my back's always hurting. And I was thinking, I started building my own excuses. The same excuses I heard from my clients, I started having the same thoughts. And what happened on that, make a long story short, was I got eliminated after week 3. My partner and I failed in a challenge. We got beat in this challenge. I got sent home. I was back here at Fitness Quest 10. I was back here for a few days and I was beat up. I mean, I was hobbling, I couldn't walk, but I was kind of glad to be home because my son was playing football and I could see the football season. I'm on the sideline of the football game and all of a sudden I get a phone call from the producer, Dave Broom, and Sylvester Stallone, saying, hey, we need you back up to Hollywood. There's a twist going on. I'm like, what's the twist? They're like, well, you're gonna have to compete to get back in the game. I said, no, I can't compete. I tore my labrum in my shoulder. My knee is giving me a lot of problems. I can't compete. They're like, well, listen, come back up and we'll get you back on the show. If nothing else, you get some more airtime. I'm like, all right. And I kind of begrudgingly went up. And when I was leaving that day to go back up to Strong, I'm at the breakfast table and I was with my wife and 3 kids, and I was only going to be gone for a few days because I was going to be back home because I was going to lose this competition. I said, who thinks Dad's going to win and stay on the show? And my wife's like, not a chance. And two of my 3 kids were like, Dad, we'll see you in probably about 2 days. And my one son's like, Dad, I believe in you. You're going to go all the way. And I said, thanks, Brady. Well, sure enough, I went back up on the show, and we had a chance to get back in the game, and it was just me competing personally. I no longer had a teammate. And there were three other men that were eliminated from the game, and these dudes were studs. I mean, they were younger than me, they were stronger than me, they were bigger than me, and it was like I wasn't getting back in the game until all of a sudden that morning when I'm walking around the outside gym there, I heard the trainers and contestants that were still in the game on the show. I heard them talking about who they thought was going to get back in the game. And I not once heard my name. And they were hedging their bets. And it was kind of making me mad. And all of a sudden, this competitive spirit overtook me. The same competitive spirit when I was a 23, 24, 25-year-old football player competing to get back in the game. All of a sudden, I said, they have no idea what's inside of me. They don't know what's inside of me. And although these other guys are bigger and stronger, they're not going to compete with what I have, and I'm going to lay it all on the line. I have no idea, but maybe God has a plan. And sure enough, somehow miraculously, that's when the story of Chris Ryan reminding me who I was, because I saw one of the guys fly through this 4-story tower, they call the elimination tower, go through there in about 3.5 minutes. And I was like, how am I going to do that? It was my turn. I don't know what was in me that night, but it wasn't me going through that tower. All of a sudden, my father was with me. Some of my best friends that had passed away tragically were with me. And I was flying through there like I was 25 years old again. And before I knew it, I shocked the world. I shocked more than anything myself that I got back in the game. I proved to myself that day that all of us have head trash. All of us have things in our minds that hold us back, and you gotta escape that limit. That was a limiting thought. That was a limiting belief that was holding me back. Until I put my neck on the line and did my best, perhaps that day I wouldn't have won. And it wasn't about the winning. It was about going out and competing. And lo and behold, I got back in the game. And that was week 5. And then I won in week 6. And I won in week 7. And I won in week 8. And we won in week 9. And next thing I know, I'm in the finals. I'm in the finals thinking, my kids don't even know I'm still competing, because you're disconnected with reality.
Yeah.
And here I am. And despite not winning the overall event, the most important thing of that entire experience was proving to me and to all of us that we're always stronger than we think.
Right.
We always have more up top than we think. And when you're tired and you're fatigued, you got more in you. So never give up, never stop trying, and always put yourself on the cusp of greatness. And to me, that's escaping your limits.